Okay, I left you at a bit of a cliffhanger last time. We were getting the video moved into our file structure that's all contained at Studio. And we'll put it into our file structure, and then I'll show you how to post it in your class. And there's two basic ways to do it. There's the pages way and the modules way. So I'll show you both. One of the things I didn't go over in the workshop, if you were in the workshop, I didn't go into how you do it in modules, and that was a bad thing. So I'll go through how do you post it in modules, and also I'll show you a little bit quickly how I post it in pages and why I use embed, but you don't care. I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you both. Let me shrink myself down again, and we'll pick up right where we were before with getting those videos sorted out and put into Canvas, and I'll show you some of the neat things you can do with them. If you really want to torture your students, there's some really neat ways you can do that. Okay, let me get you out of the picture. Okay, here's the video. Now, something that's very important, okay? This is a video sitting there by itself. Right next to it, right here, is the file folder. That is totally empty. Notice there aren't any cards of anything. Right next to that, where you see Washington Black Lectures, notice that's filled with a bunch of videos. Okay, now this is a file folder. The Washington Black Lectures is a file folder. And the Video for Instructions is a file folder. And I created both of those file folders with the collection button. That should be blue because they're usually blue with a little plus sign, but they must have run out of blue ink. So no matter, this is how you create a file folder to put your videos. And again, all of these, the civil rights lectures, the reasons for learning grammar, and there's a lot of them in there, boy oh boy. And here's Showa lectures, and that's another unit I teach in English 101. And these are all the file folders I have. And there's an orientation, and of course there is, everybody knows I love Antigone and Greek tragedy, and that's where the fun all starts. So I have all of those file folders. Those are all places I can put things. And let me come back down into the screen, and right over here, right there, is the file folder Video for Instruction. And here's the video itself, right? Oops, I didn't want to do that. Let's go back. Here is the video itself is right here. I want to get that into that. How do I do it? Because it won't drag and drop. And boy, that Pendleton doesn't know what he's doing. And he doesn't know what he's doing. But this is how he gets things done, is he goes to this little kebabby thing. Click on that. And that's where you get the create quiz, share media, and move to. What we're going to do first is we're going to move it. We're not going to do replace thumbnail because I don't have any good pictures. So let's not talk about that. Let's just move it over to this file folder, okay? And I don't even have to get out of the way. I can stand in the way right now. So watch this. Let's move it over here. You go to the move to, and look at this cool stuff right there, a drop-down menu. I can put it in the Greek tragedy ones. The video is not that bad, so it's not a Greek tragedy. I could put it in the grammar ones. It's not that good, though. The civil rights lessons, the orientation, I have all these things I can put it into, but I want to put it into this file folder. Let me move this up, if it'll let me. I want to put it in this one, Video for Instruction. Remember, that is the empty file folder. So that's the file folder I want to put it into. You could, if you click on a video, create your own new collection, but I encourage you to create your file folders beforehand, just so you can look ahead where you're going. So let me go through that one more time, okay? You sit down right here, okay? Have a seat. Here's the file folder. Here's the video, okay? These are file folders over here filled with videos. We want to get that video over here. So what we do is go to the video, click on the kebab, click on move to. Here's the alligator. We're going to come back to him. And the create quiz, we'll come back to that too. The move to, and it gives us this drop-down menu. And then we got Video for Instruction right here. And I'm just going to move that dang thing. Notice it now shows up in the file folder. And now I've got it organized. And the big thing I want to tell you on this is over time, as you create videos, those file folders start filling up. And you can use those. As I've told you, you can use them semester after semester, and you could use them in 3 different classes. You can create one 20-minute video and use it in 4 different classes. You can use it all the time. It's magnificent. Once you have it, it becomes a magnificent resource. And it's not that, oh, now you can just kick back and eat bonbons all day. You can apply yourself as an instructor to other aspects of your course. To creating quizzes, to developing lessons and developing assignments it frees up your time to make so much more. Okay, so as you create videos, put them away in nice file folders and you're a happy camper. Just like me. Okay, let me shrink myself down again. Happy camper, you go away. Now, one of the things is, let's go into this file folder and open up this video. And notice, let me go back to my library. Let me go back to the library itself, to the big one. I've got everything here, and let me go ahead and click into this file folder itself, and we're gonna get crazy in here. Notice that is the only video that's in there, okay? And let's get some work done. Now you can create, the kebab is still there. Even though I've moved it into the file, the kebab is still there. And it still allows us to create a quiz, to share the media, or move it somewhere else. But we're happy enough with it. So we're going to come back to quiz and we're going to share it in a bit. But first, let's go into the video itself, okay? One thing I'll point out, that what I'm kind of doing with you guys, I am anticipating what we're going to be doing 3, 5, 10 minutes from now. If I could just move a little bit faster. And that's something I want you to learn how to do when you're creating videos, is try to anticipate where you're going so the students have a reason to keep watching. Okay, so let's shrink this guy down again. Get over there. And instead of going to the kebab, we're going to come back to these. Let's go into the video itself. And this is what I showed you before, but we didn't go into it. Go down here. Stay put. The details are where you put the information for the video itself. That probably should be first. If you want to edit the title of it, you can. You go in there and do it, okay? Or if you have something you want them to address in the comments. This works a lot like a simplified version of YouTube. There's an area, and let me show you this first in details. You can edit the title of it, okay, if you want to, and you know, that's kind of nice to do. So, but let's call it quits. Let's say we're done and hit save. But make sure you have an organized structure to your file categories. But here are the comments. You can have your students comment on the video. And when you're planning your video, and very important, when you plan the video, you should think through if you want the students to reply to questions you ask during the video. Hey students, tell me what you think about Machiavelli's idea for a class picnic. And they can put that down in the comments. That is a feature that replicates an aspect of YouTube, and it does it here in Canvas. Now this can be a little bit scary, is the insights. This is an incredibly powerful tool, and it's, boy oh boy. This will tell you, I can't get into it so much right now because I'd have to go into a student file with student and all that. It can tell you how much time the student spent watching your video. And again, I need to emphasize that issue I brought up in the video 1. Planning things out, anticipating what's going on will increase your viewership. It really does. Asking questions, setting things up at the start of the video, that will increase the video retention, or the attention of the students. Okay, you can see how much the students are watching right here. That's very valuable. Okay, now this is something that is essential. Without this, I wouldn't bother making videos. Okay, I really wouldn't, and I do mean that. It's the caption. So come with me for a little bit to this guy right here, the captions. Okay. That is incredibly important. And this is an aspect, let me blow myself up again. Back in my day, when I started making videos, we had to type our captions in, and oh my God, it was not fun. I did it with a program called Amara, which is still around, and you can submit your videos and ask them to caption it. You can also submit your videos to 3C Media, and they will caption it for you. Amara is kind of a community of people who will help out. It pretty much lets you caption it yourself. That's difficult. What you have here in Studio is something you also have over in YouTube. And you can, and I won't go into it with this, but you can load your videos up into YouTube, and they will insert captions in the video automatically. It's built on voice recognition software. Now, the folks who are the best at this are Apple and Google, because they own every phone that was ever made. Okay. They're really good at it for that reason. And this used to not be very valuable. The automated captioning used to be horrible. Defies used to call it Captions because it was that bad. The software has gotten so good that it will do a very good job if, like I mentioned earlier, you get a microphone. And I want to emphasize, this is not an expensive microphone that I have here. It's not that expensive. But anyway, you can get a little $10 one, and it will work much better than the microphone on your computer. And again, I want to explain it. It's a physics issue, because voice radiates out. And what happens, the further away the microphone is from you, the smaller segment of the sound that it captures. It ends up getting a little small piece if it's out there. If it comes in closer, it's getting almost all of the voice. And that makes a difference. And your caption quality will improve greatly. If you use, many people use an iPad or something like that, and they set it across, about 6 feet away or something like that, your captioning is going to be pretty poor. Okay? Especially if there's noise in the background or other issues. If you have a microphone and you do the captioning with the automated software, it's going to be pretty dang good. Okay, let me shrink myself down again, and you go sit down there. And this is what you do. This is how you get the caption. And I'm on this function. Remember, I have the details where I can edit the basic title stuff, the comments where you can have a discussion. And I really want to emphasize, if you want to have a discussion about your video, think about it and ask questions during your video and set up issues that you want people to comment on or talk about. The insights will give you, it will basically tell you how popular you are and did they follow you. And the captions, this is absolutely key. What language is spoken? I've been speaking Danish all along. No, I haven't. It's English. So you pick your language and then you just request it. I don't get it that you have to request it. It starts automatically captioning the video. And this is a 20-minute video, okay? It will be done with the captions on this probably in less time than 20 minutes, okay? You can upload, as it says here, your own captions, but I wouldn't bother. Especially my Danish needs some work. So it's doing it right now. It's getting it done. It's going to have it pretty soon. And what it's going to do in the end, and I'll show you this in a bit, it will put the captions at the top of the video. Now at YouTube and most other locations, they put the captions at the bottom of the video, okay? And something I really want to emphasize is that most of the people who use the captions, they're not deaf at all. They can hear just fine. They're just following your video while they're sitting in the library. And they can't play the sound. And maybe they don't want the sound. Maybe they just don't, whatever. They're just going to read it while following it. And so captions are absolutely necessary for ADA compliance, Americans with Disabilities. You might not have a deaf student this semester or next semester, but you're going to get one, okay? And the big problem is if you have not captioned your videos, they must come down, okay? They must come down. There is no gray area on this. It's very important that any teaching resource that you produce that's necessary for the class be accessible to everybody. And so the captions are an ADA compliance issue and a legal requirement. But that's not the real use of them. They are used by all students to follow along with what you're producing. If somebody just doesn't want to listen to your voice, but wants to listen to the latest music that came out from Miley Cyrus, who knows? Maybe some of our students aren't that well adjusted, and they can do that, and they can follow along by reading it. It's up to them to allow them to do it however they darn well please. Or if they just want to follow your video in the library, they can do it. So that's where the captions are magnificent. And that's a universal design principle. So let me shrink myself up again. They're still working, and they will still be working for a little bit, but that's going to be how it's done. What we're going to do next is I'm going to go through how we're going to produce quiz questions. And put quiz questions, embed them into the video itself. One of the issues is the student going to sit there and listen to, as you're already experiencing, listening to a 20-minute video? Man, is that tedious. Can I get an amen? Okay, it's really tedious. But what you can do is insert questions at various points. I could put a question at the 218 mark. I could put a question at the 942 mark. And I can put a question here at the 1401 mark. You can insert questions to kind of check if they're paying attention and to kind of reinforce the content. I personally don't do that. I use the quiz generator that's built into Canvas itself. I use the new quizzes to do that at the end. I find it's a little bit more effective and it's a little bit easier. My understanding is navigating it with a screen reader it can be done. It can be done, but it can be a challenge also. So I don't like using the implanting quizzes, but I'll show you how to do it, okay? And let me stop my video right now. I'll let these captions finish up. They'll be done pretty dang quickly, okay? But we'll come back and I'll start the video up again and take you to the questions. Okay, bingo, I'm back, and guess what? The captions are all done. And the captions, they finished not long after I stopped the video. And one thing I want to emphasize is the captions were done for this entire 20-minute video that I had produced earlier. They were done in about 10 minutes. And that's something that's built into the software, is they can play the video at a rapid rate and capture the voice or get it recorded. It's pretty darn amazing stuff. If you hear from people that the automated captions don't work very well or they're very poor, in almost all likelihood, what you're hearing is the complaint of somebody who doesn't use a microphone or who records outdoors or something like that. I really encourage you, even a cheap microphone will make it much better. And don't record in a location with a lot of ambient noise. That's just the noise around you. Try to cut that down. And the best way to do it is a microphone in a quiet room without an echo. This room, by the way, isn't so good. This has a bit of an echo, but I don't have noise in the background. So it's okay. It's not great. I do have a microphone, but try to limit the ambient noise. Listen for an echo if there is one, and there is one in here. Try to get a microphone and try to ensure that there aren't interruptions, okay? But let me shrink myself down and walk you through the last things. Like the quiz function, let's go back to, and again, let me take you to this right here, the review and publish. If you click on that, let's put this guy up here. This is the captions. Those were auto-generated. I did not type those in. The only thing I want to make you aware of is if you have any specialized vocabulary, it often has trouble with words like onomatopoeia or, articulation or some kind of fancy words. It will have some trouble with. But look at that. Okay. That is pretty dang good. That will get you a B minus. That's pretty good. Okay. So those are them. You do have to review them and publish them. You do need to hit review and publish and then publish. You need to do that. That little blue button that was right there, review and publish, you click on it, it loads up all the captions, and then you've got it. Okay, then make sure you hit publish. It's like the save button or the others. Make sure you hit those, okay? And now this video is captioned. And this is...
I want to take a little bit of time and go through...
Here the captions are right here.
Creating a video for instruction that we cover...
Or that was the comments, but it will give you a little box right here for putting the comments in, for the captions. And you'll see it right there, and they're pretty dang good. But let me go back here. Let me go back to the video, the original one. Okay. And here it is, and back to the kebab. Because the thing that a lot of people are interested in is the creating a quiz. And let me cover that very quickly. Okay. Again, I don't like it. I don't like it, but that doesn't mean you don't have to like it. It could be perfectly useful. I'm going to call this video instruction. Get it done. That's my description. Now, this little button right down here, okay, hide question markers in the timeline for students. I encourage you to hide it. Go green, okay? Because if you don't hide it, it will show the students when they're going to be asked questions. If your goal is to make sure that they are paying attention and that they're answering the questions as you go through it, you want to hide it because they'll just skip ahead. They will, okay? Get started, and now it takes me back here and it gives me this. This is the video itself, okay? And it gives me this little plus button right in the corner, right down here. And look at that. Okay, that little plus button is where I can add questions. And I can move that to where I need it. Come on, play.
Okay, I want to take a look. So I myself still make single take.
Right here. Let's say I want to put a question at this point, the 340 something. Or I can add a question right here. I can put in either a multiple choice, a true false, or a multiple answer. Now, the quiz function in, if I get it out of the way, it works a lot better. The quiz function overall in Canvas has many more options. You can put pull-down menus and everything else. This is a simplified version of a quiz. Okay, like many things in Studio, how it has Screencast-O-Matic and it has the video structure from YouTube. With this quiz function too, they're all simplified. Okay, I personally like to create quizzes, but not have them be part of the video. I create the quizzes in the quiz function. I like that a little bit better. It is a little bit easier for the screen readers to use. Screen readers can get through these. Okay, I've been assured by people who know better that screen readers can work on these questions that you could put in the videos. Okay, but I want to warn you that they're a bit of a challenge. So I'm not a fan of having these questions embedded, but you can put any questions in that. Does he need a comb? And the question is, yeah, okay. And you can put the feedback in there, and it's pretty good stuff, these questions are. So that's how you can get the quiz function to really work within the videos, and how you can make sure you have the captions and the title squared away and everything else. When we come back for the very last video, what I'll do is go through how you can post it, both in pages or in modules. Okay, so this video really goes through how you can finish up your video. Now it's in your course. It's in your course and it's there ready for you to deliver it to the students. The video must be planned out, produced, put into Canvas, and you're not quite there yet. You've got to deliver it to the students, and then you're using video for instruction. So I'll come back to the delivery stuff, and I'll show you how to do it in pages, which is what I do, but you're probably going to want to do it in modules. So we'll go through both, okay? We'll be back in a moment.